Alright, not too bad. I've done it. The Heartstone that we needed. Easy.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
What kind of a name is Goditha? What a weird name. Alright. I got the stone from the belly of the Death Phoenix. It was not a phoenix, it was a griffin. I said phoenix because what's-his-face is the phoenix. Joshua.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
There you go. There were two of them?
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
Yeah, okay. I wonder if this is actually going to give me like a really good in-game accessory or something.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
Yo, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but man, this woman wasted her entire life. 20 years of just following a griffin, thinking like, maybe those two boys who, like, probably totally died will show up and want to kill the griffin and then take these armbands. What a complete waste of your life.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
All right, let's go. Visit Archduke Elwin's memorial. Is this like way over back in Rosaria, presumably? Yeah. Way over here. Oh, I've already been here before. Man, we went there ages ago. This is still inaccessible? Where the heck does that even go? Dude, we went to our dad's memorial thing ages ago when I was looking for time trials.
Ready, go?
As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is probably gonna be related to some kind of a side quest at some point.
An unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Yeah, probably.
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially
Sorry to interrupt you, trying to figure out where to
what
go.
we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there.
It is just back here.
Skull.
Yo, you ever think about how awesome it is that Annabelle, like, despaired to her final moments and then offed herself? So glad that she got what she friggin' deserved. Everything crumbled around her until she couldn't handle it anymore. That scumbag! Hate that lady. There's nothing even holding that there. How has it not been knocked off by a monster or just by the wind yet? I refuse to believe that...
Always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
That was neat. I like that.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
I hope there are no more
Into
side
a
quests.
new beginning.
Don't interrupt me. I hope there are no more side quests, because that whole, like, onward to the end, to a new beginning, that's a great thing to go into the end of the game off of. 3060, the Rusted Battle Helm. Archduke Elwin's helm, worn during his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising. War is coming, my boy, we must make ready. Displayed in my chambers. That was nice. Nice little moment with Dad's grave before the end of the game. I dig it. Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua has joined Clive's party and will remain with him until departing for Origin. Well, now I kind of wish I had done this way earlier. We could have had Joshua helping with all of these mini fights I had to do. There is another side quest. Let's go do it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because I would really like to finish the game today. Oh, it's a missive side quest. Interesting. Bum, bum, bum. Open up. Let's look at this first. The Wall of Memories. Archduke Elwin's helm, worn in his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising and later laid to rest upon his memorial stone. Now it sleeps in Clive's chambers, a constant reminder of the bravery and selflessness of the man in whose footsteps he and his brother mean to follow. Chat, what are these two missing ones? How do I get them? Can I get them before we go to Origin and finish the game? Because if I can go get them before we finish the game, I would like to, if it's not too complicated. You need to do the last quest and then talk to Tharja. Okay. Tharja? I don't remember who Tharja is off the top of my head. Oh, she's the medic, right? The Wages of Fate. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominant sits upon yours? But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield. Now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what our father wanted? What Sid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own paths? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Joshua, could you put any more question marks in this? Concern for Jill. Though her Eikon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden, even but only a fraction before we depart for the skies. I would speak more on this on private. Alright.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't realize that Jill just, like, loses, essentially, her Shiva powers when she gave them to Clive. I understand that she gave them to him because, like, gameplay, you get the Shiva powers now. But honestly, really boneheaded move by Jill. She would be so much more helpful to the cause if she had Eikon powers instead of being like, yeah, only you can do it now.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
I can go talk to Tarja now. Oh, Tarja, there's no H in it. It was misspelled in chat. Let's go talk to her now, then, and get whatever this other thing is. This is the inaccessible place next to my father's grave, isn't it? That I was just like, wow, how have I not been able to go here yet? This must be what opens it. Presumably. First, Tarja. Tarja, however you say her name. I don't know.
Tarja's tea stopped the fits.
Clive, I wanted to give you something for the kindness you showed my mentor.
What's this?
A chest of all the medicines you're ever likely to need. Seeing as you're so reluctant to come to the infirmary, I thought you might as well take a part of the infirmary with you.
I'm sure it will be very helpful indeed. And Tarja, try not to work too hard.
And work Rodrigue all the harder, you mean? He's a quick study, but he's got a long way to go yet. I'll take that particular piece of advice when you heed it yourself, thank you very much. Besides, who else is going to see that your brother takes his medicine?
Who indeed?
That's a little dumb. They should have given me that when I finished her quest instead of having to go and... Like, all of the other ones, or at least the vast majority of them, you just get them at the end of quests. She even talks about the quest where I helped her with her old master and letting him die peacefully. Why didn't they just give it to me then? That's so missable for no good reason. That's dumb. That should have just been given to me at the end of that quest in the first place. Open up. I want to read this one, then we're going to fast travel to the side quest. Hello. All the way over here. A beautifully carved chest that opens to reveal countless compartments full of tonics and tinctures. As Clive often proved a difficult patient, reluctant to come to the infirmary, Tarja commissioned this curio that he might take a part of the infirmary with him. How nice. I had to Google while achievement hunting for this. Yeah, that's really dumb. Is it? Are there any others that do that? Is that the only one that isn't just, like, given to you? That's so weird and unnecessary. It is the only one? That's dumb. That's stupid. It is the last inaccessible spot. Finally. I've been waiting for this day. Wait. Oh, whoops. Sorry, Joshua. Slightly wrong way. We gotta, like, go through the thicket here. Here be Rosfields? Visit all areas on the world and local maps. Wow. Okay, this was the one and only place I hadn't been yet.
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but... it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone at the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
I can't believe this tiny little patch was left inaccessible for so long just for that. Back to the hideaway we go. Surely this must be the last side
Let's
quest.
hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
I hope it's the last side quest, because I'm starting to worry I'm not going to have enough time to finish the game today, because boy howdy, I'm already feeling really hungry for some reason.
Say what you
They didn't want you to pick up the flowers before the Blight got to it? Why don't they just make it where the Blight got to the flower by the time that I could go there? Like, what's stopping the game from just, like, the game decides when something gets hit with the Blight and when it doesn't. It could have just immediately been blighted from the start of the game.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.